Sorry, ladies, my camera's crooked. We're getting there now. Okay. And I'm gonna tag a few people, invite a few friends. And share the video. I'm going to copy this so I don't have to keep typing it in all the different groups. I hope everyone is staying safe, being well. Let me share this in Handmade by TLC also. Oops. Don't think that's a word. I'm going to go in Stamp Junkies today too. Let's do that. Okay, well, let's see what's going on. I think, yep, I think I covered everybody. And I invited friends. David Braska. Hi, Mel. Hi, Dana. And Debbie Long. We have a few. They're coming in. That's fantastic. So I had a different project for today. Let me turn this volume down a little. But I wasn't liking it after I had started to create it so that I could share it with you. But today I got in the mail some really new goodies, which of course I switched over immediately to coloring these up instead. There were two of them. I don't know what I've done with the other stamp set right off the bat, but my friend Kelly Neis owns 7 Kids Crafts. I can't find it. Anyway, oh, it is the other one. I'm sorry. She owns 7 Kids Crafts, and she has manufactured stamps, 2 different stamp sets. One is called Kitten Frills, and this, I love this little guy. He's rolling around, and you could play with him. And then the other set, I don't know where my cover to it went. Oh, here it is. The other set's called Kitten Gems, and I fell in love with this one called Diamond. She has a bunch of gemstones around her and things like that. So we're going to watercolor her today. I thought this is like a sketchy type, a real sketchy type of illustration. It's not bold black salad kind of vector lined illustrations. It's got a lot of thickness in some of them, and like the eyelashes are super thick. It's a specific type of illustration, and I do think it's very frilly. I do like it a lot, but I think Copic coloring, for me at least, would be a little bit more complicated, trying to get it just right, trying to make it look right. I wish I had the skills of some of the women that are out there that actually teach coloring. It isn't my forte. I mean, I do pretty decent, but I couldn't make it come to life like that with Copic ink. But I decided to do watercoloring today with this girl image. And I'll show you what I did. I have the stamps here. They're clear polymer. And I used, I think it's Simon Says, or Inkadinkadoo. I can't remember who made the masking paper. Not that it's super important, but those of you that might not have masking paper, this is what I used. Inkadinkadoo is the name of it. And you just stamp directly on it and then cut them out. You take the blue backing off and you have masks. And when I do that process for stamps of any sort, I tend to just keep them on the back of where the stamp is held, because then you have them anytime you need them. Sometimes you might lose a little bit of the stickiness on the edges or something like that, but for the most part you could just run a tape runner over it again or whatever. But you've already fussy cut it once. Who cares what they look like? They're just masking utensils. It's a tool that you can use. So that's what we're going to do today for sure. And what we're going to try and create, now this isn't finished, this is the one that after getting it in the mail yesterday, I sat down today when my husband got off work at 4 o'clock, and I'm like, get off the desk, get off the desk. So I put this together, and I thought, how cute is this? I love this paper. Let's talk about what kind of paper this is. I'm sorry, I'm probably, let me just keep up with who's coming on. Debbie Lon, Marcia, Carol Ann. Hi, ladies. Kathy and Gayla and Sharon. Dina, hi. Oh, you don't have sound. Oh, you have sound on your tablet. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. She says it's beautiful. But so before I post it on my blog, obviously I'm going to have to put a little bit more time and effort into it. And because I was playing for the first time, I goofed up on the opposite side. This is just kind of popped on there easy, but I goofed up. I was going to emboss, and then I decided, no, it's too black. I didn't like it. So I just turned that one over, and we're just using this one as the sample to show you what we're doing tonight. It's just popped up like with 3 little dots. So, but on top of showing you how to mask and create the image, we're going to go over, there's, now her name just, Cassie Hewlett, one of the women that I've been friends with for a really long time. did one of my illustrations, I believe it was Jazz, the teddy bear with the little wings on the back of him, and she has this technique where she uses a die, and she goes in and she die cuts once, twice within the image, and then just fussy cuts the edge. So this is actually, and then you do it again, obviously, on the other side of the illustration. But that's actually all one piece, which I thought was really cool because no matter what you put behind here, it's going to show through. So you get a little bit of design paper, you get a little bit of technique, and it's really a nice way to set off a clean and simple project without a ton of work. So let me go over the paper. I hope we're not frozen. James, would you get on and make sure that you're reading? Sound is low. Are we frozen? Better now. Kathy says it's better. Is there, oh, maybe I should have switched to the other setting.
What?
You know, never mind. Anyway, hopefully it doesn't happen a lot. Sound is low. Are we frozen? Better now. So ladies, can you hear me? Is everybody working okay? Maybe I should switch to the other.
I can hear you.
My husband's able to listen to me, so I hope I'm on there. I found Motor Scrap. I don't remember where I got them now. I think Simon Says. But I fell in love with the cotton candy because it's a watercolory look, and I'm really into watercolor. It's not that confined coloring straight slashes sort of thing. It's got a watercolor look to it. So we're going to use cotton candy, and it's this honeycomb looking paper. And I did make a second template, and it's out of this one, and I used this really pretty soft watercolory flowers. Anyway, I don't think we'll get to both of them today, but just to show you what I was working with. And I used craft paper to cut the frame, and the die that I used on it is from Pink Fresh, excuse me. This outer diagonal stitched rectangle die is what I cut the craft, and this, I think this is called Ocean Blue or Mystic Blue or something like that from Simon Says paper, because I have envelopes that match all that, so I love using it. So we've covered that die, and then this inside die, see I did practice a few different times. I set them up, and this one I forgot to put the bow on first, which is really, it's something that you have to kind of think about before you lay these layers on, because if it's on top of anything, it has to be stamped first. So it would be bow, kitty, and then flower, leaves, and then, oh, see, and I messed up this one too. Flower, and then leaf. I'd put the, oh, I forgot to put the mask on when I stamped that leaf, that's right. So I redid it. I've been playing with this most of the afternoon, actually, which, you know, that's pretty average for me, I guess. This is a die set that I created a long time ago for another company. All right, everybody is saying, Kathy says it's better now, so that's good. I made this a long time ago for another company, and I absolutely adore the little stitched marks and the fact that it makes that really pretty little frame. So I'm thinking about manufacturing this myself. It is a design that I can remanufacture. And so is this wave border. I don't share the packaging or the knowledge of what company it was with or anything like that, but I do like to use some of the dies that I created with that other company. All right, so what else are we gonna, let's see what we're gonna do first here. Oh, let me show you my handy dandy Altenew paints. That's what we're gonna paint with. Ooh, I'm making a mess. Let me get my white. That's what I get for playing with it early. And all of the paint is wet on the inside of the thing. So that's what this is for. Those browns is what I used. You can see it's on the little, but that's what I used. I've got them all wet and waiting to be used again. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to watercolor. The paper that I used for the watercoloring is Distress Watercolor Cardstock from Ranger. Heavyweight. It's really white. I like how white it is. Sometimes when you get watercolor paper, you end up with, you know, kind of a yellow dull color, basically. All right, what is the first thing we're going to do? Oh, I'm going to put the paints off to the side. Excuse my arm if it's in the way here. We're going to put these away real quick. So let's start with showing you how to properly create this. Okay? So the first thing that we were going to want to stamp onto, here's another one of those ones I've already cut, prepped for us. I am going to watercolor tonight, so it might be a little bit long of a video, but I'm going to keep it going. Gems, could you see if anybody's asking any questions for me? Hi, Denise. Turn it down, honey. Hi, Judy. Oh, Kathy, you're going to watercolor tonight too? Awesome. What's your favorite watercolor brand? I'm wondering. I've used Altenew because I have the coordinating inks with them. So, the first thing I'm going to do is show you how I configured where the bow needed to be. So you take the kitty stamp and you place the bow on the kitty stamp, right? Decide where the stamp is going to be. Now my sentiment's up here and I need to be a little bit closer to this left edge, right about there. And of course it moves with my fingernail. Alright, let me... right about there. Turn it over. Place it. And then grab the kitten. James, pick it up with your... I'm going to use VersaFine Clear black ink. It is good for watercoloring. Figure out what Milo wants, please. You're just going to lightly press it. You don't want to smush it down real hard. Hi, Judy. And Kathy's going to watercolor. I think I said hello to everyone. If you're joining us live, that's fantastic. Nice to have you with us. I'm Tammy Louise, and I own TLC Designs Shop online. But I work very closely and distribute my double dial die through 7 Kids Craft Store as well. So tonight I'm coloring up one of the brand new 7 Kids Crafts images. So that I can play with them a little bit. I just got them in the mail today, which I love. Alright, where is my bow mask? The little mask. I know I had one. Not that it's complicated to make another one, but I kind of want to... Well, I don't see it. Okay, so I'm going to make another one really quick. All you need to do to make a mask is just grab a piece of cardstock. Not cardstock, sorry. Masking paper. It's probably on the floor. I've been up and down the last 15 or 20 minutes getting ready for the live. I know I just had that out. What did I do with the masking paper? All right. I just showed you, ladies, what the masking paper looked like. It's gone. It grew legs. So let's, don't you hate when that happens? Let's just stamp the bow. With regular ink. I'll find it just as soon as the live is over with, guaranteed. Don't you just love that? Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to show you what to cut. Wipe that bow off real quick. Oh, look what I just found. Look. It was because I left it stuck to the initial kitty cat when I was making my thing. So here's my my mask of the bow, which is fine. I don't have to do any fussy cutting, yay, right now. So we're gonna put that away. I found it. I don't know where the masking paper went, but we're gonna mask this because we want it to appear in the front. And when we stamp the kitty cat, let him out. Now's not the time, please. He's just gonna whine. I'm talking about the puppy dog. He was a bad boy and did something, and we just put them in their crates for 2 or 3 minutes and let them realize that they did something wrong. But while I'm live and he's in the crate and he's whiny, it's not good. My mask of the bow fell off. It attached itself to the rubber of the cat. Using VersaFine Claire Nocturne. Just leave it on there for a second, but don't push too hard. You want all the edges and the lines to show up, and if you can see some of the lines that didn't turn out as dark as you want because you've used this tool, the Misty tool, I have only the small one, I don't have the big one. Hi, Judy. Oh, you don't remember the name of the set? Cute kitty, says Denise. Love the pretty edge on that piece. Oh, thanks. Good. I'm glad you like it. I'm going to remanufacture that myself, maybe with some other dyes inside it. So there. I'm much happier. You get crisper, a few crisper lines. I like versifying clear because it's very easy to get good lines when you stamp. I'm very happy with that. I use it for my Lavinia all the time. And those Lavinia really have a lot of detail. So put my stamps back on. The next image that I'm going to want to stamp, like our sample here, is, this comes with really cute flowers. I love them. Kind of look like water lilies and stuff. So because I really like the way that it turned out, I'm going to mimic where I put it before. It showed up pretty much here. Let's get the mask of the kitty cat. Kitten. Her name is Diamond. Isn't she sweet? I think it's adorable. Big, long, lush eyelashes. I don't want to lose my bow mask again. We're going to put it up there. I'm not stamping on the top at all, so whether or not it matches perfectly on the ears is not what matters to me. The section that I'm going to add to is what matters. And I've used this 3 or 4 times today, so it is trying to pop up a little bit on the edges, but you can always put a little bit of tape runner on there. Unless I ruin, you know, tear it or something like that trying to get it off, I'm just going to keep using the same one. Waste not, want not, my opinion. Okay, so we're going to grab the flower. We've masked off the kitty cat. And get this bow put back. I'm going to stamp the flower. And I hope you guys can see that. Those are the dog's chains. Well, you know, it was funny. I watched the 12 o'clock news, and an advertisement for the Maury Povich show came on. And Maury Povich was talking about how he's been, you know, at home and how it's all going for him and everything. And he's not any different than us. We're all just kind of trying to get through it. He was walking his dog or something. He's like, hurry up already. It was funny to see how, you know, normal he is. But anyway, it was fun to see. We all kind of just are getting by whatever way we can. I tell you, I was just so excited. It was like Christmas Day getting this stamp set in the mail. Hi, who's that? Judy. Okay, hi Judy. Such a cute stamp set. It really is an adorable stamp. It's so, I don't want to say prissy, but it's, I don't know, like royalty. They're very aristocrat. You know, they're like refined kitties. What else is going on? Yes, they do. Hi, is it Rocio Sanchez? Hope I'm saying that right. Hello, glad you could join me. Oh, what kind of dog do I have? Well, I have dogs. And I'm completely addicted to them. They are dachshunds. I have 3 of them. And Milo is going to be, I don't know, 13 or 14. And he's a long-haired red. Supposed to be miniature dachshund, but he's really not. His mom was tiny, but he's like 35 pounds, so he's not much of a miniature. But we have had him the longest. And then we have Miss Bella, He was a long-haired dachshund. Black with brown eyebrows, brown little spots on her paws, things like that. And she was born in November, so she's over a year now, almost a year and a half. And then I have, so I've masked off this flower, and I'm about to do one of the leaves that's supposed to show up behind it. I'm gonna grab it. Then I have Baxter. I've had this discussion about Baxter. Baxter's a little broken. He won't crate train, so we gave up on that. He won't use the paper pad, so we gave up on that. He has to go outside to go potty. Bella is perfect at all of the above. She does everything exactly right. Baxter is broke. But he is a brindle, and he's super, super pretty. He's long-haired, and he's a dachshund. And he was born, I want to say March. So he is over a year as well, but just barely. A year and a month, something like that. We love them all. But Baxter's, he got, you know, clobbered with the broken stick. Just a little. But he smiles. So when you like come in a room and he's happy to see you and he's wagging really hard, he lifts his entire little face up and smiles at you, which just like warms your heart completely, of course. So he's a keeper. So what? He doesn't, you know, he doesn't use the pad. He won't sit in the crate. He has to sleep on you. Oh, and he thinks he's a pocket puppy, so he needs to be on someone at all times. On someone's lap, on someone's throat, on someone's tummy, on you, you know. He gets very lonely. He's very needy. He'll whine at your feet unless you pick him up. He's a needy puppy. Broken, needy puppy. But I have 3, so trying to keep them all quiet and do lives at the same time is nearly impossible, especially when Bella's high energy. So she'll get them all riled up. Even Milo, the old man, the grandpa. But she's very motherly too. So she takes care of Grandpa Milo. If he whines too much or something, she'll go and lick on his face. It's okay, it's alright. I would have a cat. We used to have a cat before I had my daughter. But it turns out now I'm allergic to them. I don't know what happened after I got pregnant. So we have a flower and 2 leaves stamped, so we can get back on topic here. Now I want to create this stamp behind her other area. Where's that stamp? Here it is. And we're going to need the mask for it as well. And it just kind of comes out from behind. Another lesson I learned is to make sure that I overlap her face with the stamp, because when I cut the edges out to see the background paper on this, it got kind of tricky. So we're going to keep that there. Pick the stamp up. Ink it up. Now, your kitty cat stamp is still on there, so everything's going to show up on the paper behind the cat. Oh, Denise has 1 kitty, a Siamese. Yay. I love those cats. And a couple of birds. Wow. Hi, Pam. Okay. So, we've got that. I'm sure I won't miss any questions. I think my husband is trying to help me watch what's going on. So if you ladies, have you ever done the masked stamping? Have you ever tried it? I hope it's not something that you back away from, because it can be really fun to make a scene. Especially if your image is only maybe, what, 2 3/4 inches or something tall. You kind of want to fill the space with a little something, and these make it really easy. This set comes with like 2 sentiments, And it's a 7 Kids Craft set, but it comes with a mouse, some gems, diamonds. You can see on the other side here. The 2 cats, one of them is kind of, she could be holding up. Any of these items would be cute to mask it off. I want that little itty bitty leaf. Here it is. We want this to just be peeking out of the bottom of this flower. Take that up. Picked up the mask too. I'm gonna show you, all I do really is just add a little bit more tape to it so it sticks better to the paper. Okay. And I've got the stamp on there. It's a tiny little stamp, so careful when you're not using it to put it back on that plastic thing, because I think I dug it out of the garbage earlier today because it just kind of dropped off my desk and the garbage bill's right underneath there. It's tiny, but it's really super cute. It goes perfect size for the set. Alright, so we're going to put him back, and this bow thing, get me crazy. I'm going to add a little bit more tape to the back of it. Now, the first time, and maybe even the second time that I used it earlier today, the sticky stuff on the masking tape really works well. Kathy. We had one, but our grandson is a special needs child, and our little rosebud is the best friend. Oh, I see. I have a special needs child myself. My son is autistic. His name is Christian. He's come online with me before and chit-chatted. I think it was Dana. We started giggling because, you know, that was before the quarantine that everybody was going through, and they were at karate, and I kept them out of the house because the dogs go crazy. It makes me nuts. And she's like, oh no, they haven't had dinner, they're starving, and they're in the rain. Okay. I thought maybe my masks were missing, but they're not. So I'm going to put these back. Let me turn this down so that I don't have to listen to everything I'm saying twice. Put these masks back on here, save them for a spare. No, next time I need them. She goes here. And that's it. Basically, I can just put this away. Oh, wait. I am going to stamp "You're Pretty Awesome" on the top of this before I forget to, which I did once. Had it all done, and then noticed that I forgot to put this sentiment on it. Actually, I think I'm going to use... That's why it's on a block already, because I messed up earlier today. I think I'm going to use the Misty. Kind of get it exactly where I want it. You guys, can you hear Milo whining?
No, I can't hear mine.
Can you come in here and listen to him whining, or take care of it, please? Please? Pretty please? He's right at the gate trying to whine and get into the craft room. It came out perfect. So, instead of coloring right away, I want to get rid of this stamp set real quick. Get it off my desk here.
Milo, take some off then.
All right. There's our image, ladies. Oh, your grandson wants to see the kitty. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you can visit with them. Maybe he lives real close, or I don't know the situation, but I know a lot of families are having a really hard time getting contact with each other right now. Okay, so I'm going to use Copic multi-liner. It's pigment ink, so it will be fine with the watercoloring. And sometimes when you mask, the second image doesn't come right up to the first image, but it looks really good here. I mean, there's just like a little area there. Just to show you that, you know, not everybody kind of needs to fix up some things. So let's do the cutting. Let me show you how I did it. This is the image size. So if we evenly go across, we want one of the lines to be in this area and one of the lines to be in this area. So let's go up to here. Use my Gemini boards today. We're just going to go up to the face of the kitty cat on one side. Whoops, I can't put it that way. I have to put it this way. Christian, take him out, please. My Gemini needs new plates. Because they're warped pretty bad. Turned out perfect. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Dana. She says it's pretty. You purposely undercut the oh, I see. So she's saying, Denise is telling us a little trick of the trade regarding the masks. She undercuts those masks just a little when you're cutting on the black line. Go inside the line a little. And she's right. That will stop the fact that the ink doesn't come up to the other image all the way. Good one. Thank you for sharing. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn and play together, get inky, just get crafty maybe. I mean, there's not a lot going on right now in within our windows and doors of our homes. So sharing with 20 or 30 people from all different parts of the country is, you know, the best experience that I can get from this. Okay, so we will just cut this one side so that you can see, and I don't have to some of this washi tape I use, I'm telling you, breaks so easy and just, okay. We don't have to finish this entire process, only because you can see all I did, go in and fussy cut around and then do the same thing on the other side that we just did, that shows those, and I chose a border that has cute little dashes and dots, but you don't have to get super fancy or anything with it. But you can see how it turns out. You fussy cut both edges. See? Okay, so now what we're going to do, let me show you. We'll do it on this one.
No.
That was Bella. She wants to play. So let me get my paints out. That's one of the fun things I wanted to do tonight too. I don't hardly ever get to paint, but I want to paint. Let me, I don't. Okay. Okay, so I already have some colors picked out. Get these so they kind of show on the screen.
No. Baxter.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna get a wipey out too, because sometimes when I watercolor, it just makes a disaster, and I end up needing it out. I get wipies from the dollar store constantly and use them in my crafting. So here's my wipey. So I'm gonna watercolor her, and the colors I've chosen, if there's an easy way for me to pick this black up. Espresso and mocha are the two browns that I've used with her. And then the card base was, or the card color is Pink Diamond. That's funny, her name is Diamond, that's kind of cute. And Puffy Heart for the flowers. Frayed Leaf and Forest Glades are the two cubes of Alta New watercolors that I'm using for the green leaves. And I don't know how much of my pan you can see over here off to the right hand side. Dogs are having a real issue with mommy-itis today. Okay, so I want the kitten to stay in view. Kind of want the paints to be in view. Let's do this. Let's move it closer a little bit to where I'm using and make sure I'm still in sight. Can you see me, James? James?
Yeah, I can see it.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna use my rinse well, which is like a little tool that you can continuously have clean water in, so that comes in handy a lot. I'm going to reconstitute the light pink, grab a little bit more of it from the cube. I wonder if there's any dog food for them. It's time for them to eat. See? Mom's smart. That's why they come to me. I'm convinced of it. I'm the only one in the house that thinks about why they're whining. Alright. So I'm going to wet where I want the watercolor to go to and stay inside that line so that it pretty much will follow the flow of water. How many of you guys watercolor? Judy, you can see pretty colors. Thank you. So Marla, hi. Glad you could join us. Nice to hang out. Kathy says you're good. I think you're talking about whether or not I'm in view, which is really nice because, you know, he is trying. So I'm going to put just a light shade of pink. I'm going to try and not go too much over the VersaFine Clair, black, because I've found that if it's a light toned watercolor, and this is just like the base color, if you pull it in towards the center, they were hungry. They're all eating now. Smart mom. Pull it in towards the center, let the last bit of ink fall toward the center area. That's where you're going to get a darker concentration of the color, and it'll kind of look more natural. You see how that paint kind of fades out that black? You can always go back in with that liner and fix some of these afterwards. I suppose embossing it in black would have helped that, perhaps. But I did try that and I really wasn't impressed with the way that it looked. Now I'm going to skip that flower for a few minutes and go to another object. And we're going to go with this green, which I just want the lighter green first, and I don't want to go to the edges. And I did not pre-watercolor it because it's almost a dry brush. It's very dry. Very little moisture in it, so that that light green kind of really stays there as a light green. And rinse that color off of there. Go to the dark green. Reconstitute it with a little bit more water. Maybe grab a little bit more pigment. That's good. My wipey comes in handy when you're trying to get, you want to get a little bit of the color off, but you don't necessarily want the water off. So I'm going to go just inside here. Like this, and dab. I want it to look like watercolor, which is messy. It's smeary. Smeary, is that a word? It's not perfect. It's supposed to appear watered down. I'm going to take all the color off my brush. Oh wait, I forgot this other little leaf over here, and I'm just going to dot some of the dark green right in the center underneath that flower, where you would see a shadow anyway on a real leaf is where you want it to appear darkest. Underneath this flower, I'm going to grab some more of that pigment, maybe even take it on straight from the palette. See how much darker that is? That's a good tone. And you can always lighten up watercolor by reconstituting it, as long as you let the first layer dry. Okay? Anybody got any questions? You like to use water markers? Kathy, what kind of water markers do you use? I think I have some of, it's Crafter's Companion. I don't know if it's called Spectrum Noir or what it's called exactly, but now I'm going to clean that brush off real quick, and I'm going to kind of just soften, that was Bella, soften the edge. The difference between the really super dark and the light. I'm going to soften that up a little bit so that you can still see that it's there, and kind of in the portion of the leaf that you're going to see the light the most, that's where you want it lightest. Spectrum Noir? Yep. Okay. I do have some of those. I guess I'm the type of crafter that really sticks with what she knows. I own a lot of different products that I really have not taken the time to learn what they are capable of giving me. Shame on me, I understand, but now that I'm on both sides of the industry, it is a little bit more complicated to even just sit down and craft. So I do what I can. Kathy, maybe you should do a Facebook Live and show us how you use your Spectrum Noirs. That would be fun, don't you think? I would watch. I know there's like a ton of them probably on YouTube. But, so here I'm going to dabble into the lighter, or it's darker, sorry, pigmented pink. And I'm going to kind of just lay it in the center. Now, the kitten isn't wet, so the watercolors really aren't going to go on there unless your brush got a little sloppy. I want some of that candy pink. Oh, really? Is that what she says? Yep. She's not that brave, huh? It doesn't take bravery, it just takes patience. Figuring out how to set it all up kind of is a little...
If I can do it, you can do it.
Is a little intimidating. Who says that?
I did.
Oh. Trying to figure out all the mechanic part of the, you know, going live and stuff like that. I'm going to let that dry just a little bit. What I did with this one earlier tonight, I put the dark here. With watercolor, you can even just like dot it in. I think it always adds that little touch. You know, now that we're all home too, some people, I mean, their children are home with them, and I mean, if I had little kids, it would be impossible to do this. Thankfully, my current situation does not include children. I do have my autistic child, but he's 23. I want to call him 23, which is really old and a little sad, but I'm going to take some of this water and some of this color off around these edges. It just looks like it's too concentrated for me. And if you mess up with watercolor, you can push it out or grab that color away from the kitten. I got a little bit on her chest there. Okay, so the leaves have dried. Let me show you closely what we've done so far. The leaves are dried. This one is wet. This one is dried, so we can do a little bit more on the second flower, which I add a little bit more of this towards the bottom by the kitten's tail. There, not too much. That's a really dark pigment. Go in and get some of this light cottony pink color. Not that much. Add some of that here. And I want to add a little bit of yellow. I'm going to put mostly just straight yellow in this section, but then I'm going to kind of blend it right here and get kind of an orange. A little bit of a blended color always makes flowers look a little bit more natural, I think. Now I have quite the line here on some of these. So we're going to fix that up. And then I'm going to add a little bit of yellow in here. Make it appear a little bit more coral and pink, while continuing to seem as if it's a matching pink to the paper, the design paper. You want to stay with whatever hues you're coming up with, which it looks good so far. The yellow does, you know, matches up with the brown, so we're good. The craft paper. I might want a little bit more. Ooh, that's a really bright yellow. Ooh, yellow. Let's see what happens when we add a little bit more of that. That's pretty. Okay. Now let's do the kitten. We're going to reconstitute this brown. Add water. This whole other line of paints have been dried up for, I don't know, maybe a month, but don't waste it. Just reconstitute the water. I think I want to wet her down a little first. I'm not actually putting color down. There's a little bit of brown on the brush, but that's not intentional, and it isn't going to matter because we're going with brown anyway. I just want it wet so that when I add the water to it, it will blend nicely. Or add the color to it, I mean. Okay, so we're going to start from the edge, just like you would a Copic marker, basically. You want the darkest color to be wherever something is on top of it. So underneath this bow, and her ear, and back here. That's where you want the darkest. Then this section of her face is going to appear like it has shadow. Maybe we've got a little bit underneath that great big eyelash. She's got beautiful eyelashes. I think the artist's name is Monique. If anybody here is from the 7 Kids design team, maybe they could help me figure out if it's Monique. Maybe a little bit of brown in here, not too much. I'm gonna have to get more of that color. Ooh, it's juicy. That's a lot of paint. Need to empty my little reservoir in the rinse well. I love this tool. She likes to use markers. Fun way to color it, yeah. Actually, this image I found. Now I'm going to blend these edges just a little bit. These images look really good with watercolor because it's not finite. Like the Copic markers, you kind of need in order for it to look good, in my opinion, you need a thick line. And these aren't thick by any means. These are very sketchy looking, like somebody just kind of dragged a pen lightly over it and flicked the eyelashes onto her. It's not. Okay. I need it to get really light. There we go. I want it to match what I am currently coloring with. Put a little bit in here. A little bit in here. Okay, let's start with her body and let that dry on her face. let's move to the green. I painted the bow green earlier. We're just letting some other areas dry. Watercolor takes a lot of patience. So it turns out he was hungry. Seems like he's calmed down and he's not begging for anything. I'm just dashing that in. I also did just maybe 2 or 3 little dots of green in the collar that she wears. This one is the darker brown, which I used on her tail to kind of try and make it oh no. Alright, we're gonna have to fix that right now. Grab me some clean water. Dilute it. And grab it off. Not bad. Eventually I'm going to shade that in a little bit anyway. Soften that line a little bit, grab some of that other brown. Right down to her paw. Soften this line. I'm going to drape this, just pull it out to the rest of that. And then I believe I put this pink, cotton candy kind of pink. In here. And in here. Let that dry. I believe her chest is pink as well. I'll put the one layer on. I want the lightest section of it to be right here. So we get the darker stuff over here. Dry my brush off a bit. There. Okay, her eyes are green. He's whining to go out now. Gentlemen, somebody?
I just took him out.
He just ate. Take him out again. Sorry, ladies. My son is sighing as we're telling him to take the dog back out. He's not extremely happy with us. Give her green eyes. A little bit of texture and motion really helps with the dotting, that dark tone. And then what I'm going to do, constitute this super light brown again And do one more. I did not get up here yet either, but do one more swipe. Where I want the darkest. Tone of it. It's the same color, it's just how much water you add and where your brush leaves off so that the color kind of puddles. And then when you see that it almost blended too much in an area that you wanted lighter, grab your brush, get it wet, and just take a little bit of that color off. There's a fuzzy. Those drive me nuts. And that's pretty much how I watercolor. I'm going to grab some of this darker brown. It's okay that the coat of hair on her body doesn't have to completely match the tone of her head. So if you can even see, her head is pretty large by comparison to her tiny body anyway. Oh, I do want a little bit of pink in her cheeks. Alright, sorry. Let me finish up. I'm just adding the second tone, the lighter tone of green. Off to the edges. I'm going to use the wipey and pick these up because it's on the workboard and that could be disastrous at some point in time. I'm not known to be the neatest crafter on the planet, but we should definitely ground her too, don't we think? Really cute kitty, beautiful. You know I'm going to have to get this on. Kathy, get this set. You won't regret it. When I got it in the mail today, I'm like, oh, these are so cute. She is darling. Thank you. Now, I want to ground her real quick. I'm going to grab this full strength. Make sure it's nice and wet. And I'm going to just... I might add another tone to it later, just so that it sort of separates from her a little better, maybe even like a black. Let me see, maybe I'll do it now. I don't want too much of it. And that's sweet. Oh, she's so cute. Maybe I'll end up doing blue on the top. I don't know. But that is the project that I wanted to share with you. I wanted to color these cute little cutie pies because I got it in the mail and I was so excited. It felt like Christmas, like I said earlier. They're sold at 7 Kids Crafts, and it's the first time that she ever actually manufactured her own stamps. She did spend a lot of time getting them the way she wanted, and she has a third set as well that was created after her daughter. I think her name is Amanda. I could be wrong. I think it's Amanda. And it's a part kitty, part person. And it's really cute. Now see, I might end up going in with a little bit more pink on this background, but I want to show you some of the other pens that I used as well in order to, I'll show you what I actually came up with earlier tonight. As you can see, I put white gel dots all across her eyelashes. You can use Julie's kitty cats up to no end. I put, what is this one called? Jelly Roll Clear Star on the bow and some on the flower. Definitely the diamond and this little white bracket on the edge. I use this white gel pen that I have found from, is it Frozen Jim? Okay. That I found from Amazon. I used it on the Lavinia project last Thursday and everybody wanted to know where it came from. I found it on Amazon, and I will be sure when I blog this project, I'll be sure and put this pen, because I don't know if you can tell, but these dots are extremely tiny. I mean, there's just no end to how much cuteness you could add to this card, this type of card. And let me show you when you cut it out. I'll put it next to, I could do these forever. You can even add like a little white dot for the eye back in there. You could put 2 of them. It's tiny and the gel comes out perfectly. You can see like each little black eyelash. And these are tiny lines, tiny ladies. Look how small that is. So I used that, and I used the white, and oh, I have a black gel pen, Jelly Roll. And if you go back in over some of the lines that the watercolor ink kind of covered up, you can bring those back to life as well. See? So let me show you one more time. I used the die cut on the edges, cut them out, and then fussy cut, and then when all you need to do is just prop it up on there. You could add little sequins, maybe 1-2 sequins. You could add a little bit of flowers or something. You could put another flower like maybe on the edge to match, to kind of give it a little bit more dimension, whatever it is. But there's the project for today, ladies. The TLC Designs shop is going to have a lot more design paper very soon. We had an Earth Day sale for 20% off that is now over with. Thank you everyone if you got in and were able to purchase. That's something that I'm very proud of, because I had never done a discount sale before. So I'm still learning how to maneuver my way around Shopify's platform to run the store. So, oh, I have a stamp image of 16 stamp set called Seahorse Sam, and I was offering it only in black and white, and our friend Mel, she's still on actually, Mel asked if I would mind putting the colored images that I was using for sale, and I don't mind at all, and I put them up, and they are now currently in the sale, or in the store. So if you're not big on coloring but you love to make scenes, this set comes with a design paper that coordinates with it. You can get it in black and white and color it yourself. You can get it full color and just create. You can use that double dial die with it if you like. A lot of design paper, a lot more design papers coming into the store for the May release, and this is National Autism Month too, so I think next Thursday I'm going to make a special project for autism with some dies that I have from Close to Your Heart that are puzzle pieces. So if you haven't used anything like that, come up with some creative ideas, and craft with me again next Thursday. I'd enjoy that. So how many do we have? Okay, so I want to definitely do a giveaway, so I will give away a set of the brand new Seahorse Sam colored images to the person that gets closest to the number between 1 and 10 that my husband chooses. So if you ladies want to get in a number 1 through 10, I'll draw one. I'll have my husband give us the number, and you can win the free set. You love this tea paper? Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad you liked it, Dana. Yes, download the digis. Alright, last time I did the calling of the numbers, it took a few minutes, so I'm just going to wait a few minutes and see if you guys get in. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Judy is 6. Let me write these down so I don't have to go up on the thing. Judy is 6. Where did I see that? Because now I see Janice is 6. Alright, I'm losing it. Oh yeah, there. Judy is 6. And Kathy is 4. Dana 7. Janice.
Dana 7.
2.
Denise is 9.
Mel is 8. Denise is 9.
Dana 7. Janice is 6. Denise 9.
Janice, 6 is already taken.
Yep.
Judy has 6.
Mel's 8.
Janice has 2. See how complicated this is, ladies? No, Mel, it's for the colored set. But if you win, because you already own the colored set, I'll give you something else from the store. We'll have to, I'll chit chat with you. Maybe, I don't know, design paper or something if you didn't order that with your, we'll work that out, Mel, no problem. Kathy Myers, number 4. All right, James.
My favorite number, 7.
Your favorite number is 7. Oh, Dana. Yay, Dana is the winner. If you have already purchased the colored set, then like I said, there's some other things that you might be interested in the store. I want you to win something for joining me. I mean, you ladies are here every week, and I love to craft with you, so we'll make sure that you're happy. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you ladies stay safe, and I'll see you again next Thursday. Have a great night. I'm glad you